The following content is for entertainment purposes only. All of the voices in this video and this disclaimer were generated using artificial intelligence and are not actual quotes of the persons depicted. This content is purely satirical and is in no way a political advertisement or contains any political bias. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, and congratulations to everybody watching right now. By clicking on this video, you don't get to just see expert Pokemon Crystal play, but you get to see it done by Donald Long John Trump, the greatest Pokemon trainer in the history of life. You truly are a lucky person.
Please tell me you still aren't calling yourself that. It was supposed to be a one-time thing when we played Pokemon Yellow. And then it was supposed to never be referenced again. Our female viewership didn't even improve by you doing that which was the intended goal.
First off, it's time for Entei to be handed some fraud allegations, seeing Carrara just one shot at Arcanine as the real, legendary fire dog. And second, you are very wrong, my skill issue inflicted friend. As you can see, our female viewership is about 50% higher than when I appealed to that audience.
Damn, from a whole 2 female viewers to 3 female viewers. What a jump from 1% to 1.5%. But my question is, what and who is the 0.1% user specified viewers?
Oh, that would be me. I identify as a dog on YouTube, since I got that dog in me, and I'm the true Pokemon master, unlike this false god that Trump portrays himself to be. Also, I have to have secured the dog vote by doing that as well, so you might as well just forfeit the election now, Orange Man.
Dogs can't vote in the election, you demented fossil. But by all means, please allocate your entire advertising budget to dogs. Promise chew toys for everyone that votes for you, or just go full Vermin Supreme, and promise a pony to everyone who votes for you. I fully support you doing that, Joe.
Don't be hating on my boy Vermin. He's got a really strong platform of harnessing energy via zombies and hamster wheels while also making mandatory toothbrushing laws. It may eliminate the entire melee competitive scene since none of them practice proper hygiene, but he's got some really good ideas.
George, the guy wears a fucking boot on his head. His campaign promises are to go back in time to kill baby Hitler and baby COVID. He doesn't deserve to run for president. He should be put in a mental institution so society can be protected from his lunacy.
Whoa, I'm sorry, Donald. Are those not great campaign promises? Or do you think that those things wouldn't be good for America? The boot has unlocked the full potential of his brain, and I'm with George on this one. I'm voting for Vermin. Ponies, no dictators, and proper hygiene for all.
Well, shit, Donald. Looks like Vermin has the votes of former presidents, and I've got the votes of dogs and dead people. Looks like your real fight is with Robert Kennedy for 3rd place in this election. But don't worry, I'll still invite you over for video games after the election.
Joe, what did you just say? Your other voter base was after dogs. Please speak louder into the microphone so I can get that audio file into the hands of every Fox News employee in the past, present, and future as well.
Oh, I said donators. Obviously, everyone that donates to this channel is in my voter base. So yeah, let's just jump straight into those donations as you continue to use strength and drill peck on all the unsuspecting Team Rocket members. And our first donation comes from the Homeboy Presidential Gaming Drive. He issues you a challenge to prove your ability as a trainer, Obama. He wants you to use Radiant in the gym battle against Price, since he thinks Sneasel is dog water in Generation 2. He also thinks that Dark Maga deserves a reality check. He recognizes Dark Brandon as the true master of the dark, and that he would bury Dark Maga's ego more than Tobias did to Ash in Generation 4.
I'll be honest. Generation 4 was a Pokemon League where I genuinely felt bad for Ash. Bro finally defeats his toughest rival in the anime the round before, a battle which is easily a top 5 battle in the history of the anime. His reward? 2 legendaries in an impossible to win battle. This was the first series where it felt like it all came together for Ash, and everything he learned should have resulted in a league championship. Instead, they just said, hey, you're getting plot armor against you for no reason now, which was complete bullshit. I'm still mad they did that. But getting back to the other half of that donation, I will absolutely use Radiant in the gym battle unless, of course, it's weak to the type of the gym. Not just gonna run him out there against fire or steel types, and of course, thank you very much for your weekly donation, Presidential Gaming Drive.
Nice job getting the first password and also taking down your second legendary dog in one shot. Donald, you've been absolutely crushing Team Rocket to this point. Keep it up, man.
I'm not going to pretend I'm doing the Lord's work right here since we're clearly over-leveled to these opposing Pokemon. Again, a situation of the level scaling of this game being completely nonsense. We go from fighting level 30s to the high teens and low 20s. I guess the game expected us to go to the 7th gym's town before the 5th gym's town with no instruction to do so. I don't get it honestly, but Obama, you did just give me an idea for what our comment question should be this week. Below in the comments or in the live chat if you're one of the kings or queens watching the premiere, let us know what your favorite battle in the anime was. It doesn't have to be a full battle or one Ash was even in. Whichever battle you thought was the best for whatever reason, let us know.
I'd personally go with Ash against Gary in the Silver Conference because it put to bed the first rivalry in Ash's career as a trainer, and the way Ash defeated Gary's first Pokemon with a massive disadvantage was downright brilliant. Showed all of his growth since becoming a trainer. But going back to donations, our next one came from Lazy Panda 6569. Instead of bashing Brandon, he's bashing you this week. Obama, by saying if you even lose one member in the 7th gym, you should be disqualified from leading the team and not get a portion of the donations. What do you say to that?
That's it. I've had enough of the fucking slander. Use this. Use that. Enough of this. You know what? How about this? Tell you what, everyone, if I lose 2 Pokemon next episode, I'll call it quits and take Bill's spot in the cloning lab. He can replace me. Will that make all of you happy?
Hold up, Barack. Take a breath for a minute, man. No need to do anything drastic right now. Sure, the comments haven't been kind to you, but we all believe in your abilities, and you don't need to make a magnitude 10 guaranteed to us.
Nah, fuck that noise, I'm all for this guarantee. You know what they say? Diamonds are made out of pressure. If Obama deserves to be here, he needs to play much better. Let's see if he can actually follow through on his promise.
This grunt literally just said yuck, 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 and is making more sense than you right now, Donald. Do we really want all that pressure on Obama when he's going up against the 7th gym? Number one, I'm not losing my buddy, and number two, do you really want to see all of our heavy hitters get vanquished right before we battle Claire and the Rockets and Goldenrod? This is not the stress we need to be putting on Barack right now.
I appreciate the support, little bro, but don't forget that you were my vice president and not the other way around. I'm a big boy and I can take care of myself. Let me walk this walk and just know I'm going to talk this talk. Donald might have been convicted of 34 felonies, but he's right that diamonds are made out of pressure. I'm not only going to win our 7th badge, but when I walk out of Price's gym, it's going to be with our entire team intact. End of story.
I thought we agreed to not bring up that bullshit court case. We all know it was a rigged trial, and I will just appeal it all the way to my boy Clarence Thomas until it gets thrown out. You Democrats may have thought this was going to help you, but this verdict only helps me and riles my base up more in the long run. I will take this office back, don't you worry.
Yeah, I don't know about all of that, but Donald, what are you doing? Don't you remember there are 2 passwords? You have to find the second one before you can unlock that security door. I know you've been going through a lot recently, but you got to check that baggage at the door.
God damn it, man. Haters left and right, there's nothing I can do right now. Just be happy I'm destroying everything in my path and making this hideout my bitch. I'll just throw it back to the donation so you all can get off my back for a minute. Our next donation came from user Mitchell44. He said we made the best heartfelt speech he's ever heard, and that we are the best. And then he says Donald is the best character on the show, so at least somebody has some sense and is on my side. Thank you, Mitchell. We really appreciate it, and I hope you are enjoying me walking through this hideout like it's nothing.
Oh yeah, man. An absolute performance to remember smacking around these Pokemon almost 10 levels lower than you. However do you handle this task? Be grateful your episode came during one of the parts of the game where they completely botched the levels and you couldn't be in less danger. It really makes you think the guy in charge of game testing went on an extended vacation after the 6th badge because the levels are all over the place for no reason. These Pokemon should be in the mid-20s after battling a gym leader with a level 35. Once we return to Goldenrod to battle the same opponents, then the challenge actually becomes real again.
All I hear are excuses to mitigate my magnificent gameplay. You just wish your battling abilities were even close to the level of mine, Robinette.
I have no interest in resetting my skill tree, so that's going to be a hard pass, Donnie. Just know if you lose anybody in this episode, I'm going to make that around 90% of my talking points during our first debate.
All right, enough bickering, you two. Save it for the 27th. Donald, just keep mowing them down. All that matters is you hand over the team to me intact. Staying on the topic of donations, we did get a bunch of them in between this episode. And last, so let's move on to Brent One Ree, who said something both of you can agree with. He said you had a great episode last time, Joe, and has been right to this point about Trump knocking it out of the park so far. Thanks for the donation, buddy.
The levels are actually about to jump because your last 2 battles in this episode are against an executive in the team battle with Lance. Don't forget you also have your static encounter as well. The last thing we need right now is any level of complacency. If you end up dropping a team member before we wrap this episode up, then maybe MMA Lover 150 will take back what he said about you being Alpha Donald and you not being a liability. He does think you'll shake your liability tag next episode, though, Barack.
Well, I either shake the tag or according to the terms of my guarantee, I get sent to the Gulag, aka the Clone Lab. But don't fret, gentlemen, I have no intentions of losing even a single Pokemon and melting that Jim Price calls home. Oh, and would you look at what we have here? It's bitch-ass Tucker. Is he ready for his next beatdown?
Nah, we don't fight him here. Bush was right about the amount of battles we have left this episode. As you can see, he just got his shit rocked by Lance because he probably ran up to him thinking he was a member of Team Rocket and all of his Pokemon are in a Hyper Beam-induced coma. Next time we face him, we'll be at the underground rocket base in Goldenrod, I believe, so he has plenty of time to heal up for yet another beatdown at our merciless hands.
Even though that fucking cave dweller didn't battle us, he still felt the need to attempt to flex while physically striking us yet again. Why couldn't they program the ability to just smack his bitch ass back? Nobody deserves it more than Tucker.
Things Biden isn't actually wrong about for 1200 Alex. Could you just imagine after he shoves us right there that Polytussie just releases itself from its Pokeball, chases down Tucker, smacks him around a little, then drags him back here for his trainer to finish the job. This episode would immediately spike to 10 million views if that happened.
I would pay billions to watch any one of our Pokemon smack the shit out of Tucker. That would be so fucking cool. We have to wait a little longer to throw out our comment question next week because this one would have been so much better. Now, personally, I would have Taft used Body Slam on him, but that's just me.
I don't often say this, but Trump, that's a fantastic idea. Donald, go use Body Slam on Tucker right now. If you ever did that, it would have to be added to the list of one-hit knockout moves.
Oh, eat my ass, Barack. Trust me, if you throw next episode, I'll make sure your guarantee is made possible by building the greatest wall ever built between you and the White House, you fat shaming piece of shit. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to have to lean forward here because our opponent is about to send out Godzilla. While I could just try and knock it out with Iron Tail, I'm going to let Mystery get in on the fun and try to knock it out with Surf. How's that for walking through this episode, Sleepy Joe? Not so easy now, is it, buddy?
Oh shit, one potentially tough battle against a Pokemon 4 levels lower than you. What an episode, man. You're really gonna need some rest after this one. And would you look at that, it knows magnitude. Way to send Mystery to the glue factory, you moron.
Oh, Joseph, you poor broken calculator. Any Pokemon master could have seen that this pseudo-legendary who normally has a busted attack stat would have a garbage attack stat in this randomizer, and a super effective magnitude attack would have little effect on our darling Mystery. While Surf didn't do as much damage as I had hoped, I can use a Mega Drain to recover a little and still finish this fight with no issue. That's just an expert game plan. Might as well call me Carlo Ancelotti because all I do is win, baby. The fans are probably getting tired of the winning.
Today's sports reference has been brought to you by the 5 people watching this who actually knew that name. Thank goodness that attack stat was as low as it was, because Donnie almost had a top 5 worst misplay of the series so far by bringing in Mystery. You know that everybody watching right now had a heart attack the second they saw that first magnitude.
Them and me both. Holy shit, Donald, what was your logic in bringing in a fire type against a ground type? Yeah, the movesets are random, but we've already seen what assuming what moves a Pokemon has can do to this team.
There is a negative 5% chance that you of all people are worried about somebody else's play. George was talking about top 5 potential misplays when you have 4 or 5 of them alone. I guess you're just going to ignore compatible fainting in a battle it didn't need to be in, Thor fainting in a battle it should have been switched out in, not catching the sweet coon right after you had a chance of redemption, and many fucking more. Would you like me to go on, Barack? Or do you wish to keep talking to me about misplays? Trust me, I'm just getting started. You ain't him, so let's not pretend you are him. Know your role and shut your mouth.
Geez, Donald, take a breath. It's not that serious, man.
Not that serious? Biden, this is without a doubt the most important thing going on in any of our lives right now. My re-election bid and court cases are a distant second and third behind completing this run. I dare you to say anything in your life more important than this run right now.
I mean, yeah, you're right. If I was told that we complete this run if I drop out of the presidential race at this very moment, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
That's how I know I can trust you in this run, Biden. Because I would do the very same. It's up to us to carry this team. This might be the only time I ever say this, but when it comes to Pokemon, you are actually competent, Joe. Stay strong with me, brother. Together we will win this.
You do realize I'm here too and can hear everything you're saying right. I do not need to be carried in the slightest, and I'm a trusted member of this team as well.
Our starter, Slasher, and a Pokemon 1 level away from evolving have fainted at your hands, George, so right about now, I would just be happy you haven't been our worst player and keep your mouth shut. You did catch the Reaper, find our first legendary and get us 2 badges last episode, so if you keep your recent form up, then maybe we can talk about inviting you to the Trustworthy Trainers Club.
The Trustworthy Trainers Club. What in the hell is that?
It was a secret until Fat Ass over here opened his big orange mouth. But since it's out in the open, a few episodes ago, Donald and I created the Trustworthy Trainers Club. It's an elite group of trainers that can be relied on to get the job done without causing a cardiac event whenever they get on the sticks. As of right now, our members are Donald, Dark, Brandon, and myself, and we meet once a week for a steak dinner and smoke cigars to discuss the newest strategies in competitive play and events in the Pokemon world as well. We even have special embroidered suits and rip packs every now and then as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry I let that slip, Brother Joseph. I just was thinking about the upcoming presentation I have on Infinite Fusion random battles during our next meeting, and it just slipped out of my mouth. If anything, maybe it will give them some additional motivation to play better, because apparently completing this challenge isn't enough for them.
And if that doesn't motivate them, we can always go with Plan C of kidnapping their loved ones, and either releasing one at a time if they go an episode without somebody fainting, or sending one of them to the rip bin if they let a Pokemon faint.
So much for Plan C, asshole. They would know it's us now. Who's got the big mouth now, you dementia patient?
Oh, damn it, you're right. I had such high hopes for Plan C, you could have called me Imagine Dragons. But nice move switching to the Reaper here, Donald. Its special defense made our beautiful girl Mystery look like a scrub. But apparently that's only because its regular defense is trashed here.
Do you seriously think we're going to just ignore that you planned on kidnapping our loved ones over Pokemon? You have a better chance of surviving
yeah,
a
Joe,
horned drill
I thought
that
it was a
connected
good
and getting
idea
out of
to
this one.
experiment, so we have a plan against a Pokemon we're probably going to see a few times down the road with forced evolutions at level 40. From what we've gathered, it has a terrible attack and defense stat, but a busted health and special defense stat. It's ground and fighting types against this monster all day.
Barack is absolutely right on this one. You're not just going to ignore us when we talk about how you plan
I've
to
got to
kidnap
hand
Laura.
it to you, Donald.
You've gone too far this
Knocking
time.
out 2 Tyrannitars is a solid accomplishment. Now you get to pick one of the 3 Pokemon for your encounter this episode. Which one do you plan on taking?
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to keep talking over both of us, George.
I'm not
sure
going
what
to
we can do
overthink
right here.
it, buddy.
It's fine.
I'm just going
I'm
to
sure there will
choose
be a
the
Deus
first
Ex
one and hope
Machina
for
any
the
second
best.
now.
Oh, sorry about that, boys. I just got to check my phone really fast. I bet it's just some more scam messages telling me I can drop 34 felony convictions if I wire some more money to. Oh, hell no, wait. Joe, your crackhead son, just got convicted on all 3 counts of felony gun possession. Guess you're not going to be able to use the felon card in the debates because I'll just bring up you being Father of the Year.
Like fucking clockwork. Told you, Barack.
It was a rigged trial. My beautiful baby boy has never done an illegal thing in his life. He's not the gun-owning crack addict that the corrupt media paints him to be.
put down my fucking script and hold this huge L. Biden. Perfect timing with Father's Day in 3 days as well.
While I couldn't be happier, your best buddy Art came to a calamitous collapse. Focus up Donald. If you get a solid encounter right here, we might have a new party member. It's going to be in the lower 20s, but if it's good enough, we can level it up.
The epitome of average. I mean, it's not bad having 500 base stats and could even have a stab surf psychic build. But we already have a water psychic type on the team and we're set on special attackers. It won't be a bad catch to have in reserve, but watch the other two options both be legendaries.
My future sight has told me the other options are going to be a single evolution garbage Pokemon and something we can't evolve without trading. Lance knew the better Pokemon were going to be on the right side and kicked us over to the bitch-ass left side. The right side is always better both in politics and in the Rocket Hideout. I guarantee he's going to add another Dragonite to his team with his encounters.
Donald, you know the rules. No making political comments like that. You will either be punished by not being able to get a Big Mac at our McDonald's Friday lunch, or you will have to get no toppings on your wall of pizza today. I'll let you choose.
Are you fucking kidding me, Barack? I thought you had abandoned your CIA torture techniques. What do you expect me to get at McDonald's? A fucking Filet-O-Fish? And no toppings on a pizza? Might as well just dump a bag of shredded cheese and sauce down my throat.
You aren't getting a morsel of sympathy from me after Plan C. Don't even think for a second I forgot about that. You're lucky you're even allowed to come to McDonald's or get a slice of pizza at all.
Donald, don't get me wrong, I love playing this game with you guys, but can you catch this damn duck already? I have a speech to write disowning my now convicted criminal of a son so I can save face and win. Wait, what the fuck are you doing? Why did you run away? Donald, explain yourself.
I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Ever since Barack imposed the biggest crime on food since appointing his husband to ruin school lunches, I have just been seeing a mix of red and tears thinking about the toppings and Big Mac I won't be able to eat. I did not intend to hit run, and it was a complete accident. I'm still going to go back into the encounter though, since it was obviously unintentional. I'm sure the viewers won't mind.
And I'm sure that fucking Furry from Ireland is sitting in the premiere right now typing out how fraudulent this catch is. He's probably also saying if we ever use this gold duck, that the run is absolutely illegitimate and we lost, just like he did in his Pokemon Sapphire run.
You're overthinking it, Barack. He's probably not even here. I bet he's just trying to infinitely fuse his Pokemon to look as close to a Lilligant as possible so he can smash it. But I do have to agree, it does seem kind of fraudulent to catch this Pokemon. It's not our first encounter technically, and I don't think we should ever use it.
Fine, you haters will never use it, but I'm still saying I was net positive by catching this thing. I'll name it Battery, because it was powering Team Rocket's contraption to force those useless fish to evolve in the Lake of Rage. I'm going to see what the other two Pokemon I didn't get to catch were. George, can you kick off the rest of our donations, please?
I can definitely do that, Donald. Next up we had, yeah, you're right, 8,661, who answered our comment question from last episode by saying he would add a feature where trainers you battle could become your rivals. You're definitely right, it could be a nice feature to see trainers you liked or disliked become rivals. Thanks for that input and the 5 bones, buddy.
Prediction number 1 of a useless single evolution Pokemon is correct, and also our next donation comes from Fistfire Aaron via Ko-Fi. He loves your confidence, trustworthy trainer, Brother Biden, and also asks how the randomization works. The base stat number always remains the same, and it's the distribution that gets randomized. If you or anyone else has any questions on the randomization rules, turn on episode 1 really fast, because Obama put us all to sleep reading the rules, and I don't remember half of them anyway, so I could use a refresher. Thanks again for donating via Ko-Fi, so we get all of your donation and YouTube doesn't get any of it.
Oh, give me a break, Donald. I read them in a very detailed and professional manner so that nobody could ever have a question on how this run works. Just like I'm going to read this donation from Antimatter013, who loves the content and hopes Parrot fixes itself. Thank you for your love, and I'm not quite sure what you mean about this parrot. I don't think we have any bird Pokemon that resemble a parrot, but thank you anyway for the $10.
I think he's referring to Thor reviving himself. Unfortunately, buddy, he's dead forever, but maybe we'll catch another. Our next donation came from Tyler J., who sent us $5 and triple loves the series. Hope this episode was worth the wait, my friend. And finally, I would obviously be the best Pokemon Stadium 2 battler, because with Donald's misplay with Gold Duck, I have finally separated myself to be the best Generation 2 player as of right now.
Just because I fumbled a Pokemon we weren't going to use anyway doesn't put you in the lead, my retirement homebound friend. But what I did do this episode was walk through this hideout with no issue and accurately predict the other 2 Pokemon I would encounter. It would have been cool to evolve the modern-day Slasher, but that's just not possible. Our final and largest donation from this episode came from Legenda 1 Rygamer, who got his $14 Canadian donation pinned and said his mod would be to add more Pokeballs to the game. Also, he wants us to name a Pokemon after the true god at some time throughout the series. If the opportunity presents itself, we definitely will, buddy.
Sorry that you had to see the future paradox version of your prehistoric companion meet an end right here, Joe. Are you going to be all right?
In what way did that green bug look anything like Slasher? For starters, it wasn't brown like my pants, but it was green like any food that Donald or our editor refuses to eat. Also, it had wings. If Slasher could fly, it would have been a legendary, since it would have been virtually unstoppable.
Alrighty then, since it's clear that Biden has gone far too long without any of his dementia pills or a nap, I think it's just about time we wrap up this episode. Donald, fantastic job keeping everybody on the team alive through the hideout, and as I guaranteed earlier, my spot on the team is on the line next week.
There isn't going to be a single person that forgot your guarantee, Obama. I don't know if it's a journey of self-reflection, channeling Ultra Instinct Obama, or something else, but I want to see you here. I'll hold you to your word that if you let 2 Pokemon fate, you're out of here, but let's see what you got next week. We'll see you there, everyone.
We truly do apologize for the break between videos. Please rest assured it's only because our editor only wants to put out content he deems as quality and won't just put out a video to say he did a weekly upload. He values each and every one of you, and thanks you all for waiting for this upload. As always, don't forget to join the Discord in the description below, which should hit 500 members this week, and answer our comment question. We'll see you for the showdown with Price next week.
Wait a minute, who the fuck are you people? Get out of my house.